Please join me in welcoming Loras College's 174th commencement speaker, Dr. Mollie Marti.
Thank you, John, Archbishop Hannes, President Collins, regents, faculty and staff, honorary guests, parents, families, and graduates of 2013. I appreciate that lovely introduction. It was a little long for my preference, but it was very, very gracious. Thank you so much. In preparing to speak with you today, I dug deep into my favorite philosophers for sage advice to send you off into the world. This wisdom is as true now as when it was first uttered. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Ferris Bueller. Life moves pretty fast. I sat where you are sitting 26 years ago. It's been over 20 years since I had a heart transplant. The surgery was done without scalpel or hospitalization. The physician was not a doctor, but a lawyer. Upon graduating law school, I moved across the country from Iowa to Pennsylvania to clerk for Judge Max Rosen of the United States Court of Appeals. This young lawyer went to learn the law and to change the world. Judge's lessons transformed me in a way that literally caused my heart to tick differently. My new heart beat in wonder of the power of gratitude, the influence of leading by serving, and the profound impact of our daily choices. My mentor was an influential man, still one of our nation's most cited jurists. I watched portraits, law libraries, and even an entire federal building being dedicated in his name while he was alive. Yet this heart transplant was not performed through his vast accomplishments, but rather by watching how the choices he made each day reflected what truly gave the greatest meaning to his life. And what gave the greatest meaning to my mentor's life was serving and expanding others. The first week I met Judge, he said two things to me that completely shifted how I saw the world. The first, Mollie, you did not get to these chambers without the help of a long list of people. You had parents, family, and friends. You had special teachers who inspired you and gave you extra support. You've received financial assistance. It's important to thank the people that help us to our achievements in life. Go back and tell them thank you. Perhaps this lesson impacted me so deeply because I was unable to go back and give a personal thank you that was very important to me. I didn't know that my graduation day from Loras College would be one of the last days that I would spend with my mom. Upon graduation, I moved to Ireland as a Rotary Scholar. I returned to attend her funeral. Life is both fleeting and fragile. You did not get here today without the help of a long list of people. Dedicate part of this day to ponder and express gratitude. Before the sun sets tonight, at least make a list. Begin to make a list of those who have helped you along the way to this great achievement of your graduation from college. Then go back and show appreciation. I wish for you many moments in life where you are so awestruck by the goodness that it brings you to tears, that all you can pray is thank you, thank you, thank you. We know there will be other moments where you need to look so hard for the good and finally find something seemingly the size of a postage stamp. Put your big toe on that speck of goodness. Feel the gratitude flow, embrace it, and it will grow. Where you place your attention on what you have or what you lack dramatically shapes how you experience life. Surround yourself with reminders to nurture gratitude. One of my favorites, this question: what if you woke up today with only the things that you gave thanks for yesterday? The second thing Judge said to me, You have spent years as a student. In my case, that was 25 years completely. You have been on the receiving end. It is now time for you to step forward as a leader to intentionally give to others. Your education has provided you with skills that are needed right now in your community. How are you going to use what you've been given to help others? Answering this question has led me to amazingly rewarding experiences. My mentor did not tell me what to do or where to volunteer. He respected that I needed to find my truest path. His was a bigger lesson. As part of humanity, each of us is called to develop and share our unique gifts. It is your service to others that defines the quality of your life. What I didn't fully understand in college was that I would have created more meaning in my life by thinking less about protecting my perfect grade point average and more about whom I was becoming in the process of learning and who I was going to help with what I learned. The true value of education is to learn more so that you become more in order to serve more. Your value lies not in status or titles or accomplishments, but in the roots of your character and the depths of your compassion. My mentor helped me expand my concept of stewardship into my professional life as a way of life. Perhaps some of you like me, grew up with a rich Catholic tradition of giving generously of your time, treasure, and talent. I still remember my mom every week getting out that big yellow legal pad and doing the budgeting, painstakingly doing the budgeting for our family of 15. And she would put down the gas and the food and the utilities and all of those other lines, but the very top line always read St. Pat's, contribution to our church. Judge expanded this concept to see that all we have is gift. Do not compartmentalize your giving. It is not limited to church or to your private life, nor is it limited by a lack of money, for there are always people poorer than you. Judge learned this lesson as a young boy from his mother, Jenny, at a time when the poor frequently visited homes asking for contributions. Jenny told her two sons, even though we don't have much, you can always give $1, no questions asked. One day, Judge's aunt was visiting, and they looked out the window and they saw a man in the yard picking up Jenny's clothespins. There was a knock on the door, and the man said to Judge's mother, "Would you like to buy some clothespins today?" Jenny said, "Yes, I would. How much are they?" He said, "I have 6 clothespins. That will be 50 cents. Wait a minute while I go get my purse." While she went to get her money, her sister vehemently opposed her decision. "Jenny, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? You are not going to buy your own clothespins." "No," said Jenny, "that man needs our help and deserves our respect. I would have given him the money anyway. If I need to buy my own clothespins to help him retain a little bit of dignity, I'm pleased to do it." The truth is that your greatest gift is yourself. Your presence, your capacity to affirm others, your ability to choose to take the high road no matter how outrageous the conduct or views of others. And you will see some doozies. As future leaders, I can guarantee you that. Show respect, and it will return to you. Live and lead mindfully. When you are with another, be with them. Let them feel seen, accepted for who they are, appreciated. Remind them that they matter and that we need them. I challenge you to let others see their greatness when looking in your eyes. And yes, you will need to put down your cell phones in order to do this successfully. You are stepping into a noisy world, a world both connected and disconnected by technology. Be diligent in building in stillness to listen to the whispers of your true self. Unless you leave this world unexpectedly, and that is a possibility, you likely will get to one day where you ponder, how did I do? What I'm suggesting is that you turn down the volume and regularly check in to ask, how am I doing? You will thrive only as your true self. A meaningful life is an authentic life. I cannot tell you what to do. Well, I could, but that would kind of defeat the purpose. Right? You may want to live in Iowa or not. You may want to go to grad school or not. You may want to be married or not. You may want to have kids or not. Okay, I do need to give you some advice. This will teach you to bring a life coach to graduation. I can't not give you this advice. While I wholeheartedly agree that you need to live your life on your terms, I would add, you will find your voice most swiftly and most true in service to others. A couple years ago, I was hosting an event in Chicago and had an opportunity to film the biggest media interview I had up to that point. I was nervous. As I was heading out the door to go downtown to film, a friend of mine, Michael Port, a speaker at the event, said, "Mollie, focus on being helpful instead of being good. That enables you to be great." Can you feel how this takes the pressure off? Your job is simply to ask what needs or injustices pull at your heartstrings and follow those. Even if they take you to a place you never thought you would be, doing work you never saw yourself doing. That's my place right now as I'm directing this community resiliency project. Wouldn't have predicted it in 100 years. Follow those heartstrings, and I think you will be astonished by the meaning that that can bring to your life. When I thought about what might have made a difference when I was sitting where you were sitting, I kept coming back to this message. Don't think that this servant leadership stuff is for old people who are concerned with leaving a legacy. You need to get a dream job, make your first million, at least move out of your parents' basement before you get back, right? Is that what you're thinking? The reality is that you are already shaping your legacy day by day. Your choices are creating the life you'll live, every decision designing it. To paraphrase Annie Dillard, how we live our days is how we live our lives. It is the choices you make each day in the little things, often when no one is looking, that set your course. The very same opportunities to make life better for another, uplift them, expand their dignity, come packaged with the power to choose indifference, selfishness, or disrespect. The very same conversations that can be spent talking about you come packaged with invitations to make someone else feel worthy, interesting, or important. The choices you make are recorded in the memories of others, in your family, friends, and acquaintances, and especially those you help and those you turn away from. I had the honor to spend some time today with some very special former Loras profs. Over a quarter of a century later, I can still vividly recall how each of them helped me, including one who took roll call the first day of class. Rose Wagner? I raised my hand. My name is Mollie Rose Wainer. Looking back at her roster, she put a check by my name and said, "No, you're definitely a Rose." And to her, I was. She called me nothing else for the next 3 years. Upon my graduation day, she gave me a beautiful pen engraved with, wait for it, Rose. Today, she gave me a card addressed to Dr. Rose. Another professor greeted me as a freshman with a robust laugh. He solidified my affection when I first visited his office and saw a sign that said, "It takes a big man to admit you're overweight." That still makes me laugh 26 years later. As a senior, he told me that I would go on to do great things, and that one day I would come back to Loras College as the commencement speaker. Thank you to each of the profs. Thank you to faculty today that are impacting our young adults in this same way, for reminding students that they matter and that the world needs what only we can contribute. I joyfully stand in the stead of so many today in front of each of you 351 graduates to remind you that you matter. We need you. On this commencement day, a day of celebration and new accomplishments and beginnings, it is my hope that you embrace the power of your daily choices. Made in gratitude and in love and service to others, it is these choices that one by one contribute not only to a worthy tomorrow, but to a meaningful today. Loras grads of 2013, thank you. Congratulations, and God bless.